Okay, good morning. I'll start off giving you the injury update. Not much has really changed from the other day. AJ and Micah will be week to week. Taryn Johnson has an ankle. He will not practice today. We're in a walkthrough format. He will do the walkthrough. And then Von Miller is on a rest day, veteran rest day today, just like last week. So one last thing is Justin Shorter. We're going to open up his practice window starting today and get him going here.
Dalton Cade, he'll participate today?
Yes. Yeah.
The Shorter decision, just do you looking for something in the receiving group, or?
Well, just seeing how he looks and giving him a chance to now take what he's all the hard work he's put into this point and seeing what it looks like.
Hey, Sean, Micah Parsons, obviously 12.5 sacks. How rare of a player is he in terms of his ability, but also how he moves around?
Unique. I think that's the best way to describe him. It's very talented, obviously athletic. They line him up all over the place, on the line of scrimmage, off the line of scrimmage. So I think Coach Quinn does a great job of being creative with those looks.
What do you attribute just the growth in confidence and maturity in Ed Oliver as he's over the 4.5 plus seasons? And did you see that in him when he was coming in, when you were drafting him? Did you see that potential in him? Well, you must have, but just what maybe caught your eye that you saw that he would be at this point where he is now?
Well, I think the credit has to start with him, with Ed in this case, taking ownership of his career, and that's really where it starts. Is him and his approach, in particular this year. I mentioned that before with a couple other players up front, in particular, that the investment in his career, his process, his preparation during the week, he continues to mature. Just getting older as it is, and I'm extremely proud of him.
Not being a bigger guy, but it just seems like he has still been able to take his game up against the run up a notch this year. What do you think about? What can you say about his explosiveness, maybe, or how that has enabled him to defend the run so well?
Yeah, for a quote unquote smaller guy, he is great power and explosiveness. So I think that's as important as anything. I think a lot of people obviously look for that size factor. Ed doesn't have that, but he does have that explosiveness, that twitch, that power.
Did you reserve a possibility for either AJ or Micah?
We'll see. I don't know. I'm just right now, continuing to get information from our trainers and updates as we go here.
Watching them on their offense, they're averaging, I think, 7 points a game the last 6 games. What do you think about the way they have been able to attack teams downfield and really win everywhere?
Thank you for that. No, they're explosive. I think they're a very talented offense. I think well coached really across all 3 phases of their team with offense, defense, and special teams, and they're, as you've seen and you mentioned, they're hard to stop. And when you do get them to third down, they're the number 1 team in third down in the NFL. So it's gonna take a heck of an effort defensively.
Sean, do you think the team gets any juice watching Miami blow that game the other night, and now you gained a game on them there? Do you think you get any juice out of that this week? Haven't seen that happen.
Yeah, I'm sure a little bit, right? But having said that, we're focused on obviously what's right in front of us with Dallas this week. That obviously helped a little bit as well. So I think that's just it kind of goes along with just taking it one week at a time.
The second time this year that the teams come to Buffalo scoring a ton of points, looking unstoppable. Miami back to the October 1st game, and now Dallas. When you see a team that's looking that way, are there any sort of key points that you look to try to disrupt an offense that, as I say, has looked unstoppable against other opponents?
Yeah, no, that's a good question. I think that we have to start with ourselves and making sure that we're fundamentally strong. That in particular we tackle well, get off blocks, and they're a tough matchup. Those matchups, it's a matchup game, and they're a tough matchup because of the skill that they possess. And I think Dak is playing really well. And, as I said before, Mike McCarthy, Brian Schottenheimer, two really good coaches who have coached in this league a long time, have a lot of experience.
Hey, Sean, Von's been in that 22 to 26 snap range so far. With no AJ, how ready is he to maybe increase that?
Well, I thought Von, took a step forward last week in the Kansas City game, and that's what we're continuing to look forward to going forward here with taking it 1 week at a time. So with AJ potentially out, it's going to be, hey, next man up. And so whether it's Vaughn or somebody else, that's an important piece for us here.
How much has Joe Brady's presence changed your view or the team's view on Josh and his running, and how much he's permitted to, or if that's changed since the beginning of the season?
In terms of Joe's philosophy on that or approach or like
maybe even your willingness to let him run more. I don't know if there's anybody responsible for that's opened up a little bit.
I think it's just more, my philosophy hasn't changed on it. Joe has embraced it, and I think we're aligned on that as well philosophically, and I think Josh has done a pretty good job with it in terms of playing the position, and yet Joe's put him in positions too to use his legs in some design runs, and I think that's worked well.
What would you say the organization's philosophy is on that now, and if it's changed from the summer when it was a concerted effort, and it has been in previous seasons too? Run less contact, prolong the career, or whatever?
Well, I think just overall, when you're talking about the face of the franchise in terms of your quarterback, and this is true for any quarterback that operates in that capacity, like Josh does for us in this organization, is the key word is responsible, right? So responsibility falls on the coaches to make sure we're, being calculated with it, and then responsibility with Josh, and that he is knowing when and where, and then how to proceed when you are running in terms of going down, getting out of bounds, what have you. So I believe we've continued to move the meter in a good direction. Everything in moderation. So
does the tolerance change though? And maybe that's not quite the right word I'm looking for, but in terms of maybe earlier in the season, a little more strict with it, and now you're in playoff mode here in December, and maybe we'll be more willing to do that than we were in September.
I think we've kind of been around that spot since the start. Not saying that that's what everyone saw since the start of the season, but I feel like we've been around that same spot since the beginning of the season.
Seen in James Cook just year over year from rookie season through to this point of this year?
Yeah. I've mentioned this before, that when you can, as a coach, watch a player develop, a young player, it's one of the great, most satisfying things of coaching, just like I'm sure teaching is, when you can watch a student develop and grow. And 1 week, as I mentioned, he's challenged with one part of his game, and he goes back to the drawing board, works on it the following week, and then he follows through in the game. I think that was evident this past week with the pass game in particular with James. And early on it was ball security. The Rams game, I think, is rookie year. So lessons, just like anything, you learn through experiences.
Sean, can you comment on DJ Mangus, what his role is, adding him to your coaching staff?
Yeah, so DJ, William & Mary alum, even though I did not know DJ personally. Joe knew DJ, and they spent some time together, obviously, years ago, and then DJ being right here at UB just prior to joining us, backfilling a spot, obviously with the coordinator change there.
Connor McGovern, he talked a while ago about how he felt this offense was opening up new things for his game. Where have you seen that the most since he joined the team?
Well, he's been a good addition. I would start there, Catherine. I've been very pleased with how our offensive line has played this season. The addition of Connor, Saibo, just to name a couple there, and I think the cohesiveness of that group, and then knock on wood, the health of that group has been key for us, and I'm sure Josh would say the same. So I think Coach Cromer and Austin Gunn have done a fabulous job of every week just continuing to improve that group every week.
Sean, I understand why you're responsible that you want to associate with Josh, but this time of year, big games are won with quarterbacks, maybe not making irresponsible plays, but certainly accomplishing plays that might be taking a sizable chance. Is that the word that you want your face of the franchise kind of having in his head when you might need him to be more going forward?
No, he's well aware. Josh is a competitor, and we all, this time of year, you do what you got to do. And, that's, it's just kind of one of those things that's understood this time of year, that game's on the line. You got to do what you got to do. So I don't think I need to say that. He knows that. We all know Josh, and I know this football team. So that's really where it gets to this time of year.